Welcome back to the backyard, guys. Today we are going over one of my all-time favorite mobility drills, the hip car. Our first variation, we will be standing. You're gonna need something to hang on to for a little bit of support. I'm just gonna use the side of the sauna right here. I'm gonna be moving my left side, so the rest of the body needs to be really locked in and tight, so all the movement just happens from this left side. So my abs will be tensed. I'm gonna press my right foot into the ground. I'm gonna tense my right quad. I'm gonna tense my right glute too. So got all that. I'm then gonna lift the left knee up as high as I can to get to max hip flexion. I'm slowly gonna bring it out to the side as far as I can. I'll pause there. From there, I'm gonna lift the foot up as much as I can. Won't be much. That'll internally rotate the hip. Then I'm gonna kick the heel back as much as I can into hip extension. Keep the knee back and then slide it back in line with the other knee. Then we'll rewind the motion. We'll kick the heel back first, bring the knee up high to the outside, and bring it back in front into that beginning position. Nice, slow, controlled movement. Hit all those end ranges. The biggest mistake I think people make is they just pivot off this other hip. So when they're rotating to the outside, they just do something like that. And you might get something out of that if you're a total beginner. But as you do this movement, you want to be as strict as possible. So think about your two pelvis bones and think about them pointed straight ahead the entire time. That way, the second one of them starts to point out to the side, you know you've pivoted off this other side. That's the best way, I think, to keep this drill really, really strict. So let's see what another good rep looks like. Knee up high, slowly to the outside, lift the foot, come back into hip extension, knee in line, kick the heel back, reverse it. And that's it. Nice, slow, controlled movement. You should get some cramping in the hip. That's a telltale sign that you're hitting your end ranges. So the second variation, we're taking it to the ground and we'll be on our hands and knees. It's the same movement in the hip. We're just changing the way the body is oriented. So hands will be a little wider than shoulder width. Knees will be a little wider than hip width. And to start, we really want to press the hands hard into the ground. We want to keep the elbows locked and we want to tense the abs. So everything's locked in except for this left hip that we're going to be moving. So to start it off, we're driving a knee forward into hip flexion, slowly bringing it out to the side, being mindful not to cheat this and just lean to our right. Once we get to an end point here, we're then lifting the foot to internally rotate the hip. Once we max that out, we'll then lift the knee high into hip extension and then slowly bring it down, knee back in line with the other knee, and then reverse it, kicking the heel up, slowly bringing it over to the side, keeping it high, and bringing that knee back to the front so we're in hip flexion. Let's see, one more, nice and slow, knee forward, elbows staying straight, pressing through the floor, abs are tensed. And back down. Couple things I like to think about: look straight down. That way, if your vision starts to change and you see yourself leaning, you'll kind of recognize that a little bit better. And the biggest thing is just move slowly. Move slowly, make sure you're maxing out all those little ranges within the movement. As I said earlier, guys, this is one of my all-time favorite mobility drills. When I was first shown this drill, there really was an aha moment for me of, oh my gosh, this is what mobility work is. And that's why it's still a drill 6-7 years later that I still do every single day, 3 to 5 reps. It's that powerful of a tool if you do it correctly. No one position is better than the other. I mixed it up. One week I'll do all of them from a kneeling position. The next week I'll do them all standing. So mix it up. The hip moves when the body is oriented in many positions. So it's good to mix it up with the standing, with the kneeling. As you get deeper into this drill, you'll recognize this term of carving out space. That's what this drill should feel like. It should feel like that ball of your socket is scraping the extreme ranges of your hip socket. There should be some cramping. There should be some uncomfortableness, but that means you're doing it correctly. You're getting muscles to end range, and you're getting that ball to the end range of the joint capsule. So carve out that space, do this drill daily, 3 to 5 reps. It's also great as a warm-up before any lower body work. It's also great to do after a lower body hip routine, just to kind of use some new ranges of motion you might have unlocked within a routine. So play around with it, have fun with it, and drop a comment down below if you guys would like me to go over another drill, or post a video on whatever you guys would like.